Hi guys, and welcome back to another fly tying tutorial, and we continue the series of flies you must have in your fly box. And what we have in the vise is a Straggle Cat's Whisker. Now, lures are still pretty prevalent this time of year, and it always pays to have a few go-to flies. So this one is one of the flies that I will always reach for when the water's a little cooler and the fish are in a chasing mood. So without further ado, let's get into it. The hook in the vise is a Hanak H260 barbless hook. This one's at size 8, it's on a heavy wire and it's finished in black nickel. The thread I'm going to be using today is from the Flysmith, and as you can see it's a 32 denier GSP thread, and it's a hot red, orangey red I would say, the shade of colour. Now the Cat's Whisker is as old as the hills, and we've all got various variations in our box, and if you haven't, you should. What I'm going to do to just get started is I'm going to add the tiniest amount of super glue to the shank of the hook, and then I can use my thread to spread that up the shank, and then I'll get a bed of tying silk down onto the shank. Now the reason I like the 260 for this pattern is you'll see the gape is quite wide, and with any sort of patterns that I'm tying, boobies, that kind of thing, I do like a wide gape on the shank of my hook, so that's why I'm using that. Now for the body, you can use various types of materials. I'm using some of this two-tone Straggle hackle, lemonade. It's in 12mm, and I've got a bit off here that I've been working with. Now what I'm going to do is just remove some of the fibres from the core, and then I'll catch that in just at the end here. Come all the way up the shank. It's so simple to tie this fly. It's one of the flies I would recommend if you're a beginner to the fly tying game. Then the Cat's Whisker is certainly one to have in your box. Now just off to the side of my bench here, I've got a ramekin dish. It's got some water in, and what I'm going to do is damp down my thumb and forefinger. You can use saliva, but it's much easier to use water, I feel, when I've got to speak to the camera as I am doing. So I've got that in place, and what I'm looking to do is get touching turns over the shank here. I don't want any of that red thread showing on the underbody, so I'm packing it in quite tight, sweeping it back like you would a hackle, I suppose, if you were tying a traditional wet fly. Just keep that nice and tight to the body. Now for fishing this fly, for me, in this size anyway, which is still competition legal, I might add the size 8 hook does fit in the gauge. I would fish it on the point at size 10, and if I was looking to fish this style of fly on the top dropper, I would be looking at a sort of size 12, much smaller, probably on a 3 fly cast, spaced well out, 5 feet apart possibly, if I was fishing a team. But this is a fly that will do a job for you, just fished on its own. And I'm just taking my time to make sure that I'm getting these fibres swept back. I don't want them to get trapped under each other. I want them to be nice and freely moving. So when you're fishing the fly and you pause or you stop, this all fluffs out, which makes it extremely attractive for a fish to come and investigate. So I've got that in. I'm going to now come across my core, just trap it into place. Once I've got a couple of turns in, I'm going to sweep all the straggle back, get 2 or 3 turns in front of the material, And I can come in with my snips and remove that. So this is also really good in booby form, but I'm saving that for another pattern in this series of flies you must have. I don't want to tie, you can boobify anything, and I used to always, especially patterns like this, if it worked really well, I tended always to add a booby pattern to my box with this sort of fly. So we're going to add a marabou wing, and what I'm going to be using is from this one's from Flybox. It's quite an old packet, and what I'm going to do with a feather here is I'm going to take about from my thumbnail to my thumb knuckle is my measurement. I want it quite a heavy wing. Not like a cormorant. This is an out and out lure, whereas a cormorant can be fished as probably a nymph as well. So I've just worked that down off the stem. Take away any loose feathers, so you can see I've got my material here now. I don't particularly want this thick bit at the front, so I'm going to come halfway up, and over my bench I'll just take away that thicker bit. Now what I'm going to do with my ramekin dish of water, I'll just dip in the point, and when I smooth it out I can see I've still got little bits. You want to get rid of that, because what will end up happening is you'll get that caught in your head, and the fly, now I've done it again, the fly will not look as tidy as you would like it. So I'm going to get a pinching loop over the top, then I'm going to draw the wing back to catch it into place, and I'm going to come down quite firm on that, and then I can use my thread to start catching in all the cut ends, in the sound knowledge that it's not going to go anywhere. Now I'm looking to get quite a prominent head onto this fly, and the reason for that is it's going to be a hot spot. And the vivid colours of the Flysmith's GSP is really helping with that. So I've got that in place. I'll come in with my whip finish tool. You should always have a few lures in your box, just in case the occasion calls for it. So I'm going to come in with my thumb and forefinger in my right hand, pinch down on the tail, and then rip away. And what I can do, I'll soak my hand again, and I want to just get everything back out the way, like so. Now to finish the fly you can use varnish, super glue. I'm going to, on this occasion, use some UV resin. You just get that instant hit. The fly's done and dusted once you've done this. Whereas with varnish and glue, you end up having to wait for sorry, I've lost my train of thought there because I was concentrating on getting a nice even coat of resin on. So with varnish and super glue, you've got to wait a little while for it to dry, whereas with the resin, I'm just going to slip a feather in to clear the eye of any excess resin that I might have dropped in there. Then I can come in and cure that off. And you can already see under that UV pen, that two-tone Straggle lemonade is quite a sight. And then if I take this out the vise, I can show you one I've tied earlier. And probably looks a little bit more realistic when it's wet, but that's what the finished fly looks like. Very simple, very effective. I hope you enjoyed that one. and I'll see you all in the next video.